Welcome back, everyone, to episode 83 of Unravel.
You just changed it.
Shut up.
Didn't remember.
Today, we're going to be picking up in the middle of some stuff, but with different people. Same amount of people, different people.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be picking up where we left off last, but as a quick recap, you guys arrived at the Citadel, the large pyramid with a small city beneath it where walls are currently being reconstructed still. Seeing that most of the people there seem to be of some undead nature, you had enough information to go back to the Sphinxes and report on what was happening there. You spotted, however, a 20 or so number of crucified individuals on these wooden 8-pointed stars. Utsil, thinking that Kieran may be among them, chose to, with the aid of some of your fellow party members, go investigate there in the pitch dark of night. You didn't manage to find Kieran specifically, but you found a gnome which may have been Kieran but super emaciated and looking rather different than Kieran would have, but daylight was necessary to determine whether or not that's for sure. You guys took this individual off of the cross and started your trek back to Aurelia.
Did we take it in the morgue, or was it just...
That was...
Did we take it in the portable hole, aka the morgue?
No, I'm pretty sure that Chara was carrying it.
Okay.
And we left it.
You guys traveled back for a couple of hours, still going deeper and deeper into the night before eventually setting up for a long rest. Where during that long rest you got the feeling that you were being watched, although nothing came of it during the night. The following morning, it was determined that the gnome individual you guys had found on the crosses was probably just some kind of sailor, but was definitely not Kieran. That individual was then promptly buried under a small pile of rocks, as the guys don't have shovels, and left behind. You can continue your journey and started spotting these insectoid creatures staring at you from a distance. You continued, however, as they were not directly engaging with you. I mean, you didn't use it. Or Chara didn't use it. You continued as these insectoid individuals weren't engaging with you in any manner, and eventually you went from the wide ravines to like thinner and thinner paths, eventually finding yourselves through small winding paths that intersect with high rock walls on either side. Bree noticed that suddenly everybody's hair was starting to poof up as static electricity was filling in the space, which alerted you to the presence of some kind of individual that wielded some kind of lightning magic, eventually revealing themselves to be 4 nude tabac, not without fur. They're wearing clothes. They're wearing clothes. They're not wearing naked. Wielding double-bladed wielding double-bladed scimitars and some type of lightning magic, allowing them to not only teleport but also shoot bolts of lightning at you. You did fight with them at one point. These insectoid creatures, which I'm pretty sure Chara remembered as being Thrycreen, joined the fight, not knowing which side they were on, and you fireballed them, killing a few, or lowering their HP at least enough for the Tabaxis to easily kill them, as apparently they were maybe not on your side, but also not on the Tabaxi side. Those 4 individuals by this point are dead. One of the Tabaxis you have managed to kill. But we were, aside from that, still in the middle of combat. So,
What's this?
that is Zira's flying dragon.
Okay.
That did perception checks because they could also hide really easily.
Yeah.
Let me.
Rogues.
You love Tabaxi rogues, right? So,
Uh-huh. Not this time.
why not this type?
Because they're naked.
Oh, not because they're attacking you?
You
Just
have
'cause they're
something
naked?
against pink
I
scats?
think they're creepy.
You have something against
Pink
naked
scats
people?
are amazing.
They're really freaky.
Next time I play at the backseat, I will be a sphinx.
Okay, next time we'll play it back, I probably won't be.
Okay, so. Oh jeez, it's gonna. Back. There we go. So, quick little recap where we're at. This thing's on fire. The net that Bree was throwing is there. 2 of the Tabaxis are here. 1 is over there. This is the dragon. The thing's on fire. And there's spiritual weapons there. Bree is concentrating on something. I'm not sure what.
Good question. question. Let's see.
Because the boots of duplicate don't require concentration, I think, because she was using those. But George is at least concentrating on Spirit Guardians.
Did we know if something worked on them? Something.
You had not yet encountered any damage resistances or anything of the sort.
Okay, nice.
So indeed, let's see.
Is Chira raging?
Yes. She's currently raging. Let me get my bearings as well real quick. We haven't jumped into the middle of combat like this in a while. So, we left the session off at the end of Zira's turn. However, before we go to the enemy's turn, we need to go back to the turn of Bezrek that was right before Zira's, in which you were supposed to deal more damage to that one. So, I would like for you to roll that damage and tell me how much it is.
Yikes. 19.
Okay, 19. Two. Take that one.
That is yikes.
He's dead.
Also, I don't see her using any spell that's.
Sorry, my damage was 19?
19.
Can I have a character sheet real quick? So maybe from look, yeah, I can find what she's concentrating on.
Yeah, because she put in what she did on the turns here. And it was Vicious Mockery, throw the net, throw the net.
Not concentrating on Bane, not on Barrel Sprite, I think. Was she concentrating on Barrel Sprite?
It doesn't say here that she cast
Last
it.
is out of trace, suggestion, none of those, no.
First
So-
turn was Vicious Mockery and a healing word. Second was throw the entangled net and unsettling words. And third was throw the net and unsettling words again. So isn't it just because she...
What about the dupes of Boots of Duplicate? Do those require concentration? It's just, I mean, no, Mirror Image doesn't, so that also doesn't. No, I guess
No.
she's not concentrating on anything.
Maybe you used it to indicate that the boots were active. I don't know.
Maybe, but I never used White Rings for anything else for concentration.
I don't know.
Alright, well, that's where we're at. I do know that at least one of her duplicates is gone.
Yeah, it says here that she has 2 still active.
Yeah, okay. And that's where we're at. That's your mental prison spell dealt 19 points of psychic damage. You then made your way over there.
Yep.
Zira, you started your turn over here. I'm pretty sure you missed, and then moved your way there. That's where you ended your turn. Now we get into the enemies' turns. Okay. One of these guys hasn't used their chain lightning yet. That one's the one up there. And there went like that, we died. That one used it. Those two used it. So this guy hasn't used it yet. That's the only one that hasn't. Okay. However, we're going to start off with the one that best just used mental prison upon. It's going to move 5, 10, 20, 25 to get a clear line of sight on you. And it's going to first against the rock wall. It's going to attempt to hide. What we can find there. For that, I'll say it would have stayed there. It's going to attempt to hide from you, Bezra. So what's your passive perception?
10.
Okay. In that case, it is hidden with a 16. After which, however, it will immediately make and hurl lightning attack at you. An advantage because of that. Ooh, that one's bad. The other one's good. It's going to be a 23 to hit. Yes, 23. Okay, so as they hurl the lightning bolt at you, strike you, and you suffer, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 7, 40, 42 points of lightning damage as the lightning bolts impact you, at which point they will remain there and not be able to hide. This one is going to stay there. It's going to attempt to hide from you, George. Is your passive perception perhaps higher than 9?
Even my passive is higher than that.
Yeah, it's twice that actually.
Okay, in that case, yeah, it definitely failed to hide from you. However, it will still attempt to throw a lightning bolt at you as well. Pretty good. Is going to be 26.
Well, that hits, I guess. Unless I healed last turn.
Don't think you did. Okay, that's 3. Okay, great. That's 10. Okay, 10, 20, 30 flat. You should have 30 points of lightning damage. As he just throws it from behind the stalagmite. And I do need to make a concentration check for your guardians. There's a DC of 50.
Yeah. Everything is dexterity.
Yeah, big oof.
I make that.
You do? Okay. After that, this one is going to move 5, 10, 15. There. Not being happy to be next to the fucking floating hammer. Last one is going to attack Bree, because Bree's been throwing fucking nets at it. But doesn't want to come into the storm of hammers, so it's going to move here, attempt to hide. Bree. What's her passive perception?
18.
And then she still notices them, because this is 13.
That is not an 18.
No.
That is less.
However, still it's going to attempt to throw a lightning bolt at her. With a really low 14 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, that one will move here. And no. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There. Okay, after that. Sure. And Bree is on deck.
I don't have a light thingy, so.
Here's one.
10, 20, 30, 40, 45. I have key points, but I'm not sure how many I have.
Key points.
Equal to the monk level, I think, right? That's how they work.
The total? Yeah. That or wisdom? I think it's not the low check.
It says 4 key points on the character sheet, so I'm going
She
to
already
assume
used one.
Right, because she's only a
2.
4th level monk.
It says 2 on these things. Still, I'm gonna
Level 11? I'm pretty sure she's a 6th level barbarian and a 4th. No? Yeah, 7th level barbarian, 4th level
I'm
monk.
pretty sure it's 2.
She has 4 total.
I'm gonna use one to do the little dash thing
Attack of the wind.
to get
So as a bonus action, she can dash.
to get there. With how many movement does it use? Because these things can teleport.
5, 10, 15, 20.
20. Okay. And then she will attack twice.
Go for it.
I think the gauntlets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how these strike thingies work, so I guess I'm not gonna bother. With that.
Depending on how many charges she has left.
Yeah, that's
You can say enforced punch and then charges are used. The left gauntlet and the right gauntlet. So the left she's used 3 of the 4 she has, and on the right she has used 1.
Okay.
Maybe go grab a drink or something.
right. I'll do one punch first, the normal one, the left one, I guess. I don't know. That's not great. 18?
18 would hit, but it uses its reaction to teleport.
Then, using
Radio Step the Wind.
20. There's a wall here.
No, she can stand there. I'll say.
Sure, so I'll go there.
Okay. There you go.
I'm already being annoying. And then a charge punch.
Go for it.
With the right one, which I'm not sure exactly what that does, but I assume
It adds 1d6 to the damage if she hits. But to be able to do it again, she has to use a bonus action to click the gauntlet back in.
Okay. With an 18 natural,
That hits.
that's gonna be like a 27,
Yes.
which then is a d6 plus a d6
Yes.
plus 5 plus 3 for rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's only 2.
That's 2 there.
That's 2.
That's
Only
2.
It's obviously only it's level 7, of course. So. It's 9, 11, 16 damage for this hit.
Points of damage, very well.
And I guess a bonus action to click it in. Is there anything else?
Choose a bonus action to dash for Step of the Wind.
Right step of the is a bonus action.
Yes.
Very good point. Then that's the turn.
Very well. After Chera, Bree,
Yes.
and Angie's on deck. Great.
I do not have such movements.
That she does not have. No.
So, we'll,
She has range stuff.
yeah.
I'm sure she has a night crossbow.
Yeah, here. So we'll pick up the net.
Okay, so she walks over. That's 5 feet. Then free action to pick up the net.
Okay, how much do I need to move to see it better?
5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay, that's good.
You can now see it.
Ah, yes. And now I can make a ranged attack.
Mm-hmm. She is wielding her sword and shield at the moment, so you have to. It's a bonus action to switch.
Okay, I'm not gonna use it for something else right now. So I'll use this crossbow, but yeah.
Nice. So she does use a bonus action to switch.
Yes.
Okay, very well.
Let's see, I have a +2 with this one. And that's 9. I want that to die. Well, that is 14 plus 7 is a 21 plus the 2 from this one, so that's a 23 to hit.
23 to hit, definitely hits.
Okay.
On deck.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's okay.
Oh, okay, no, wait.
Is it in the tomb? It's not in the tomb item, right?
Doesn't say so.
Okay. Then it's not.
Let's see. I feel like it's.
Did this one.
Yes.
Okay, I have the
I
8.
think because there were 3 here. One ran back there and died. There was 1 here. That one went like that. Then there's that one. That one definitely did. I think the one that ran there and died didn't. So that's the only one that still has chain lightning. Because that one was paralyzed in the beginning.
There's what?
Chain lightning.
I didn't say before the attack, so we don't want
It's a
to.
spell that's
see
already
that.
you guys have already been hit with twice. So
That is 7 points of Viper Fang damage.
7 points.
Yes,
Okay, very well.
of Viper Fang damage.
Anything else? Viper Fang is just piercing because it's just a hand crossbow, but it
I
has.
know, yeah, but I read it after I made attack, like, okay, what does that? Oh, I have to say before I make my
Yes.
attack. Well, I didn't, so.
Okay, well in that case it's just piercing damage of a d6.
But next time I'll use it.
Yes. Anything else for Brie?
Well, that was her. She can step 5 feet back if she like, but
No, it's actually used 25 feet, right? She's
Yeah.
here. 5, 10,
It's 30.
20, 25. That's it?
Hmm? Says
25.
Says 25. So I used the movement.
It's
I
halfling,
used the
only
action.
25.
I used a free action to pick up the net, and I
Use the
used the
bonus
bonus
action
action.
switch.
So I can't do anything more.
Okay, if she does, because the hand crossbow, right? So she does still have the shield with that.
Yeah.
After Bree, Angie, and George, you're on deck.
Yeah, I wanna move there-ish so I can see him.
We'd have to move there,
Yes.
so it's 15 feet.
So
But then you definitely have a clear line of sight.
I'll cast Mind Sliver.
Intelligence saving throw.
Is he 18?
Don't think that's gonna succeed. 16, so no, fails.
It takes 11 points of damage.
11?
Psychic damage.
Okay, that seems to work just fine. So you run over there, you shoot the psychic beam, and as it's being punched, shot, and gets hit from behind with the psychic blast.
Yes.
That seems to hurt.
Then I want to cast, just to be safe, a second level magic missile.
Okay, go for it.
As with meta magic.
Mm-hmm. Plus you couldn't.
Yeah.
Is that second level?
4 plus 1.
First level is 1. Yeah, first level is 3.
3. Oh, sorry.
So second level would
I'll
have to
take
be-
this one away.
Because that was a 1 anyway. Because that one was a 1 anyway.
4.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So that's 8. Now I.
Sorry.
13 plus 4 is.
17.
Thank you. 17 points.
Yikes. 17 points of force damage. Anything else?
Yes, I want a charisma saving throw.
1 second. Fail, I think. I'm pretty sure.
DC 18.
Yeah, there's no way. And it's 8, so no.
Yeah, no, it's even lower. But
Yeah, minus the d4.
oh, 7 points.
That does, however, blind this individual.
Yes.
7?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Then
yes.
I'll move
Now
my
I'll throw the net on him.
Now I'll move with my remaining speed. 3.
5, 10, 15, that's...
Next time it's
30
Peter,
feet.
she'll throw the net because he's blind anyways.
After Angie, George.
Okay. What's Dara's hit points like?
Oh shit!
Oh, okay.
Sierra has that 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that.
I had a not so great time.
Okay. Well, in that case, not much I can do with that right now.
Why not? Walk back there and just cure
I
wounds.
don't have enough movement for that.
Healing.
That's not gonna fix anything.
Mass healing word.
I wanna. If I stand here,
Yes.
do I see it clearly, or do I have to stand here?
I would. I mean, you can't stand here. It's not big enough. You can see it, but it would be half cover. So if you want to make a ranged attack.
Well, I mean, it was standing there and it was able to shoot lightning bolts at me without any, or at
Right.
least at people. So if I stand there, would I not be able to shoot at it?
So with how a rogue works and the extra movement, I'll say, no.
I mean, it's fair, but something just.
Because it moved past the way that it could do that. I'll say it has to have half cover because you are shooting between the wall and the pillar. I should want to do something with a save, then it doesn't matter. It is within hammer range again.
That's one thing I've done. I guess I'll.
Half cover's only +2.
Do you have any idea what their AC is? It's not 18.
Not high at all.
18 hit. I think that's the lowest of nobles.
And half covers like +2. I didn't use my amulet yet.
No, you did not.
Okay. Then I'll just use my amulet.
Which makes it
19.
19 would not hit. 18 is its AC, plus 2 is 20.
Is that one hidden?
That's why 18 hits.
Then I just wasted a spell slot, I guess.
I'll say, if that was your goal all along, if you had been in our last session, you would have figured out that it was 18. So I'll allow you to not have made that choice. I was also like, I'm pretty sure the amulet still wouldn't hit.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
What do you want to do?
That one, is that one hidden?
No, it's not hidden.
Okay.
Just move there. Try to hit here, then throw something at George, and then move there. So you didn't have time to hide.
In that case, I just wanted to cast a bless.
Bless? Okay, very well.
Good old bless.
What do you want to bless?
These two and myself.
Okay,
I think you can only bless 3 people with a normal bless.
Yes. But you can also only see 3 people, so.
Yep. That's what I'm. It's okay to do this. And then
Hey, you guys are blessed.
that thing is gonna move
Yeah.
there.
5, 10, 15, 20. There goes. After George, top of the round, Bizrak.
I have clear sight of that guy, right?
Yes.
Because he had because
I
he
mean-
had clear sight of me when he cast this thing.
Yeah.
He did. He hid behind the corner. to the
No.
middle.
He attacked. He
Yeah,
hit
he
and then
tried to hide,
Yeah,
but that
he
still
hit.
means that he's partially behind the corner.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
he didn't have clear. He didn't
That's
have
the.
cover when.
I
he
mean,
hit
it's
me.
also he's right there with the cover. It's also like an arrow slit. Like he has full range on you, but you can have the other way around. It's the same way if you're like playing a rogue. You can hide and then shoot from where you're hidden. Otherwise, it's like you're hidden. You move 5 feet. You're no longer hidden. It's not how it works.
It's not hitting him.
No, because he hit before attacking you, so that made him
So
unhit.
even if I move up, I won't be able to get a clear line of sight.
I mean, you can see him now. I'll say he has half cover. That's it. Only plus 2 to his AC. Which is 20.
Yeah.
But anything with a dexterity save or any other kind of save throws is going to hit.
Yeah. No, I'm just cast Eldritch Blast. Try to.
Okay. Hasn't used its reaction yet.
No, exactly.
But you can also see this one.
Can we go that one? Got that one.
Which also hasn't used its reaction yet.
First thing will be dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
The second will be a
I'll say it will on the second one it will teleport back, which I'll say gives it half cover.
But next one was a 27.
That still hits then?
And another dirty 20.
That still hits then, yeah. That uses its teleport further back.
The plus 5 on every bolt.
Yeah. If you have the agonizing blast,
I do.
then you
33.
33. Okay, this one had barely been touched, to be fair. So this one isn't even bloodied yet, but 33 does a whole fuck ton of damage.
Yeah.
It's not yet bloodied, but it's really close. So. Anything else, Bess?
Just this one second at this. Thanks.
Okay. And Zero, you're on deck.
No, I do want to make a Constitution saving.
Constitution save. 15
Take an additional damage.
points. Just 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cantrip.
Right.
That
4 points as.
would be my turn.
Hey, very well. After Bezrak, unless you want to move,
I'll move more towards the group.
I'll move towards energy. So that's then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
After Bezrak, Zira.
Yes.
Well, if my dragon come closer to me.
Okay. Yep.
What is it from dragon?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet.
Does it have range of 45?
19 feet, okay, yes. And I shall cast it through my little buddy.
What do you want to cast?
I'm gonna cast Melf's Acid Arrow.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. Can't teleport because I already did that.
I know, that's why.
Why?
That is 20 something.
That hits. Covers him in acid, right?
Yes. Yes. 13 points of acid damage.
13 points of acid damage. Yikes! That brings that one definitely to bloodied.
It's covered in acid.
Covered in acid. Anything else?
End of its turn.
End of its turn?
Yeah.
Yes. I shall run into the cave now.
Okay, how far? Just halfway?
Nah, as far as I can get.
Yeah.
That, and then you're still in the cave. I mean, you want to run through the cave?
I'll run through the cave.
Okay, that's 15, I think. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get you there.
No, I'm there.
Okay. In that case, the turn of the Tabaxi. I need to check something real quick.
Saving throw.
Yes, for the one of saving throw. Wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes.
16.
Oh, that's fucking success, I think. Because I'm. Oh shit, save. Pretty sure it's a success.
But it still does damage. Yeah.
That is only 13 halved to 7.
13 halved to 7. Yikes. Still hurts a lot. Yeah, you can't see anywhere. That one. Okay, here. This is what's happening with the other ones. This one is gonna go there and begins to fuck off.
Pussy.
No one is really, like, the closest one of you is like 20, 40, 60, 80 feet away. So it's
And I have no vision of it.
that too. So that one's kind of out of reach to be able to start chase with. This one will run as well, but at the end of the turn will suffer the damage. So go ahead and roll for that to see if it dies or not.
Oh, yes. 3 points of acid damage.
Okay, it does not die from that,
Sad.
but it will
Fuck off.
fuck off. And again, a little too far away from anything to realistically start a chase with. The other one, however, can't thunderstep, which is what it would have done if it could see. Can't see anywhere to teleport to. So it's going to use its bonus action as a rogue to disengage. Then step out of the spiritual weapon, goes 10 feet. 10, 15, 20, and so goes another 25 into the way you guys came from, which, if you guys want to pursue, would go over into a chase. It will use its action to dash, so it would be 25 plus.
I can still hit it. How bad
35.
is it?
It looked pretty bad, but like he is going through like the small winding corridors. Would be 25 feet plus movement, 35. So it would be 60 feet away at the start of the chase.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
I mean, I did very specifically yell that I wanted one alive. You weren't there.
Yeah, but still, I can't get it. Okay. But he's already 60 feet away.
Is anybody chasing?
I mean, sure, well, yes.
Sure. Okay.
Why do you want them alive?
Because they very much said, regards of the summer storm before he stabbed me to
That's right.
almost
Do you
death,
chase?
which is
What did
mentioned
it say?
with regards of the summer storm, which is also mentioned.
One second. I want to get through the chase first. Then we'll get into that. Bezric, do you chase?
No,
Zero, do you chase?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I
Chara chases? Bree chases? Or does Bree chase?
I mean, I am now in charge, so I would say yes.
Okay. Angie, you chase?
No.
George, do you? Yes. Okay. Then you guys are out for now. We keep the same initiative order. It started on the turn of the Tabaxi. Chase. The pursuer would be Chera in that case. Starting distance will be, because from here 10. That's 60 plus 20 for 80 feet difference. That's yes. So you can dash as an action, but you can only do that an amount of times equal to 3 plus your Constitution modifier before you have to start making saving throws against exhaustion. But we'll see if we get there. You only have an action and your movement, and that's it. Let's see. There's no opportunity attacks, and that's it. So, first of all, I have to roll for complications to see if anything happens after the cats. Very well. So, first, Chera. Chera begins to bolt, take off after the Tabaxi at using her complete movement, would close the distance from 80 feet to 35 feet. That's her movement. However, a complication does appear. As she pushes through a thin part of the ravine, a wall begins to collapse, and I need her to make a dexterity saving throw.
Does she have advantage on that?
Yes, she does, with danger sense.
19.
19 is a success. She avoids being restrained and blinded by being covered under it. However, she does suffer half the damage, which will be halved again because she's raging still. She suffers...
Keep her rage up because she took damage.
16. 17 points of damage, halved to 8 on Chera. That's her movement, that's a complication.
Is that half again?
No, that's it. That's halved only once. There. She then still has her action left. The creature is 35 feet away from her.
35?
Yes. Because it moved from here.
You said it was 60.
Then from here it was 60. But this is 20. So 80. And then she moved 45 feet, which brings it to 35.
I guess we stop the chase then, because that's too much.
That's too far? I mean, she can dash.
Yeah, but what can she do after that?
There's no opportunity attacks, but she has a higher movement speed than it.
So you can still close up on it and then knock it out without killing it and bring it back for 0.
She manages to catch up with it.
Yeah, no, sorry, that sounds...
Okay, very well. In that case, Chera gives up the chase after almost being collapsed under rubble. Bree.
I mean, if
Bree doesn't pursue them?
no one has a higher movement
Very well.
than Tabaxi except Utsil, and if that one gives up, then
In that
back to
case?
chase.
With Chera giving up the chase,
Chase comes to an end.
you all catch your breath as the last scratches of the Tabaxi feet against the rock surface dissipate in the distance.
I have... Wait. Just in case. I will cast a Mass Cure Wounds on everyone.
Okay. Roll for that.
I guess probably smart to do the same for George.
I mean, you could.
Good.
Oh. It is to everyone.
So, you find yourselves all standing within the canyon. What to do?
Best day for you. We don't have any cow.
What's everyone's HP like?
81 now.
17.
You're 17.
74. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do one as well. Yes. 23 hit points for everybody. And
I'm full health.
Zero, you get 12 temporary points with that.
Already healed up?
Sort of.
I'm full health again.
Anything anybody wishes to do? Or it's up to you guys. You guys are good.
Why were we here exactly?
we're going back to
The Sphinx.
You looked at the observed what's happening at the pyramid at that citadel that you saw. With the information of there being a lot of undead, Sarah left early, left you to return to the Sphinxes. While you went in to go see if Kieran was on the crucifixes, basically. You found a corpse there, didn't end up being Kieran, and on your way back you were attacked here by these Tabaxi. Then the Thrycreen came in, the Thrycreen died, one of the Tabaxis died, and you guys, and the other ones ran away. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Have you searched them?
No? Battle just ended.
dead by that rock.
Yeah, there's one dead Tabaxi there, and then the other ones are all back there.
No, two of the yellow dudes died here.
Oh, they're next to it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the other ones died
There.
here.
Yes.
I guess we could search them.
What do you want to do? Okay. Which one do you want to search, the Thrycreen or the Tabaxi?
I'll search the backseat.
Go ahead and make an investigation. Go for it. Thrycreen, what'd you get?
A 30.
30. That's very thorough.
It was a boy.
It's not, I'm not sure if George is that like in depth about insects per se.
It had like a little more.
They weren't wearing any armor. They were just all had natural armor. The one thing that they have on them that's of note, is they have their own version of like a throwing star and a very particular kind of spear. Seemed to be made out of stone rather than metal, but a certain like shape to it. It's probably a cultural thing, but they weren't carrying anything particularly interesting.
Wow. That was a great 30.
It missed.
You did conclude that they weren't there was nothing else they were carrying.
8:30.
That's great.
Vaxi?
29. 30.
You did a 30.
The
That's- that
tabaxi,
was the
you
TC.
notice a few things. Or two things. Yeah, a few things. It's carrying 2 scimitars that are no longer, like, pulsing with electricity. You find that part of its attire includes about 80 gold pieces worth of jewelry in, like, golden necklace, a golden belt buckle, basically, and bracelets. That altogether are worth 80 gold if you were to take it. More obviously, on the legs, seems to be wearing some kind of bracers that look suspiciously a lot like the jumpy legs of the Thrycreen, but like, you know, modified to be able to be worn as greaves. Aside from that, a almost crystallized looking, to you familiar, dragon scale, however in blue rather than green, and a sending stone.
I take it all.
Okay.
It's all mine now.
Sure.
Hello, this
Oh.
is Sarah.
Also the cynics. I'm gonna get you, you bastard! That's what I do.
Okay.
And that sending stone is mine now.
Sure. But yeah, that's, you guys see that as well. That's that.
Yeah, then we move on because
do?
there's nothing else here anymore, so.
Back, there's not really a reason to go back.
I don't know if Utso. Because it was.
That's the whole reason we're going back to the Sphinxes, because we're like, yeah, no, fuck it. If Kirin wasn't that one guy, he wasn't alive anymore.
You guys continue your travel further southeast on your way back to Aurelia. Considering you guys walked quite a... You guys went to the Citadel there when it became dark. You guys did your stuff there. Then when you were on your way back, you walked for a couple of hours before setting up camp, which would allow you, if you continued your day, to arrive somewhere late in the evening, a couple of hours after where you would normally set up camp. So it's up to you. Do you guys want to trek through and arrive in Aurelia today, or sleep a couple of hours away from Aurelia when the sun is setting?
I would say.
Exactly.
As you guys are approaching the city, you see the sand dunes. Again, there's an absence of the very heavy rushing winds that you encountered the first time you approached Aurelia. You climb the dunes around it after a day of an uneventful travel. And upon first glance, when you crescent the dune, you see Aurelia in its illusory state. The city once again looking like a complete ruin when you approach. You guys continue onward?
Yes.
You guys continue towards the city, eventually having to cross through the oasis. Once you hit the beach on the opposite side, you see, you feel yourself push slightly through some kind of membrane, and the city itself becomes revealed to you again proper. Where you notice that there's a lot of, even late at night, activity. There's people marching about the streets, very busy. You see the guards, like, here and there, you see them giving instructions. You see most of the lights in houses are still on, as people seem to be busy with something. Where do you guys want to go first? It is late at this point.
Bed.
But the city's late. If you want to go to bed, you can go to
Yeah,
bed.
if we're gonna stay, we're gonna do a long rest if anyone else.
But with Sarah,
We don't meet anyone on the way to the home.
No one of particular interest to you. You see, people are around. You see, as you walk by, you've been there before, that the blacksmiths in the artisans area are currently at work late in the night. you see people in arms and armament seem to prepare for something. But you may all make your way back home and find yourselves to bed for a long rest, which you can successfully take here. A complete long rest.
Yeah.
Nice. I have once again a 6 level spell slot. I maybe can use myself.
The following morning, considering you guys didn't take watches, unless there's anything anybody wishes to do after other people fell asleep.
Not really.
In that case, you guys all wake up the following morning, safe and sound, in your apartment.
Okay.
Let's go to the Sphinxes.
I was just gonna say that.
Okay.
Okay, you immediately pack your stuff and make your way over to the large pyramid, where there seems to be a guard force outside, but one familiar individual, Herolith, the guard captain, or lieutenant actually, allows you to pass through and into the pyramid. Taking the spiral staircase down, you eventually arrive in the large open hall where you met the Sphinxes first. There you see the Sphinxes themselves, a group of seemingly guards, but more heavily armored, somewhat decorated in a lower level than Herolith and Sarah seem to be, but officers of some sort probably. As well as unarmored individuals that seem to be of some kind of ranking as well, in a clothing style that seems to resemble what you saw at the academy, although these seem to be a bit more battle ready. Some kind of war mages probably. Aside from that, in the Sphinxes, you see Sarah, the blonde hair, blue eyes, and you'd noticed before, but the full mithril armor set, currently helmet off. But they are all standing around what seems to be a large makeshift table that does have a map of the local region on it.
Hello, we have returned.
As you walk in, the Andor Sphinx looks up and goes, "Ah, it's good to see that you've all made it back." Sarah quickly turns around and goes, "I was afraid that I was going to lose you all when you guys were in there in the dark, but you look like shit. But you made it back, that's good."
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, that's very
Did you encounter anything there when you went in?
Inside now.
No Kieran.
Nope.
Well, we did encounter some footless cats
Pyramid?
no, on our way back.
on our way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these connected to the people at the pyramid?
I don't know, is the pyramid connected to the summer storm?
Kind of looks back at the Sphinx, seemingly no recognition of the name. Sphinx themselves kind of looking up at the mention of that and goes, "No, that is not our thesis."
Well then no, they're not connected to the pyramid.
And these cats, they are dead?
Not all of them.
One.
Most of them are still alive.
Right.
Like big babies.
And how many were there?
4.
One problem at a time. Come here. We'd love to hear what you have to say, what you encountered there, what we can see. We've had Sarah's perspective, but as to my estimation, you all got closer than she did. Saw more detail.
Yes. Okay, so you have the pyramid, right? And then you have this wall of their city, right? And just a bit outside the wall, there's these crucifixes, like 20 at least, where all bodies are put on them. And like Angie said, it's like kind of a barbecue, but it's very gruesome to mummify the bodies. And then we went to look there to see if Kieran was there, and he was not. But we took the one guy that could have been Kirin anyways, then discovered he wasn't Kirin, and we buried him in the desert. And there was also this kind of like camp where they were. Was it the training camp? Can't quite remember that one clearly. I can remember the crucifixes way too clearly. I saw them up close. I'm 4. Why did I see that? Anyways, they also had this patrol out, but it wasn't that far out because it was nighttime when we got there, and they did not find us. Definitely not. And yeah, the pyramid there was scaffolding because they were not done building yet. That's all I have to report on it. Also, everything there was undead. That everything that moved was undead. If it didn't move, it was just dead.
Sarah also mentioned that the walls were incomplete. Upon an inspection, that seems to be the case as well.
Yes.
They were working on it.
Yes.
That is the one step up that we may have over them. The fact that they don't have their defenses in place. And we will not wait much longer, considering if we do, those walls may be finished. Getting through might be significantly more difficult. Kind of like looks over around the table real quick, kind of like looks at one of the officers nearby and goes, "Would you shut the doors, please?" Takes off. Large archway that leads into this room is slowly closed off with a stone door, leaving the room only illuminated by the flames in the braziers around you. The Sphinx continues to speak. There is some that we know of the fortress. We were not keen to share because we were not. Before our time, right before our creation, that fortress was the site of a great battle that turned this once lush, verdant peninsula into a wasteland. They also know, we know that this fortress, before that, ruled over by an archbishop of Prime Mistra, named Isdaros. We know that Isdaros and some of the other high-ranking Mercedians of that time were opposed to the existence of Aurelia. They believed that every Mercedian, man, woman, and child, should have fought in that final battle. While Prime Mistra understood that if she hadn't created the city, and us, that every Mercedian would have gone extinct, and that all of her work would have been in vain. Now what we fear is that somehow, for some reason, Isdaros has come back to life as some sort of necro. Specifics of that, we do not know. Good guess would allow us to think that he currently resides within the pyramid itself. And there's a problem with assaulting it. We don't have that many people. We have an advantage in that most of our people are more arcane inclined than their undead minions. However, our people get tired, and we run out of magic. The dead don't, and they will continue to fight. The only way that we would win a head-on confrontation with them is if somehow Isdaros, or whatever necromancer has revived them, is taken out before the battle lasts for more than a few hours. We have ordered everybody who's capable and willing to prepare themselves on a 2-day march when we travel northwest. We'll set up camp outside of the pyramid, assault it the very next morning. We need somebody to go in. That, Amit and I, found to be an appropriate task for the 6 of you.
Great. Okay, we're really good at those kind of things.
Sarah spoke highly of you and explained some of your capabilities that were unbeknownst to us. And we don't have any group as well versed as yourselves amongst our ranks. However, this is us asking for your help. We'll not force you to come. This is not necessarily your fight. Sarah kind of turns around and goes, well, regardless, I'll be taking care of the forces on the ground, so whatever you guys decide, if you don't do it, I'll help some people from the academy and ourselves, so don't feel pressured, but you guys feel ready enough to even go out again? You guys, I didn't see you guys come back yesterday. You didn't let
It's
yourselves know?
way too bad.
Right. I figured you would be tired. Jinx kind of like sits up again. We'll have a day to decide. Before we won't leave tomorrow. We won't leave today, but we will leave tomorrow morning. The resources of Aurelia are available to you if you wish to do anything. The choice of you wishing to aid us in this is yours. But let me remind you that we're partially in this situation because of some of your actions.
Don't look at me.
They look at
It
everybody.
was
They
his
look at
fault.
everybody.
Was.
I did get permission to do it.
That is true, but still.
We thoroughly advised you not to.
I feel like you weren't thorough enough.
I have realized that as well, and that was my mistake. Hence, we do not bind you to this. You are not bound to this city.
Well, Jera woke up with a terrible sore. She can't speak.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think she definitely would want to go.
The rest of you, this obsession was Kieran's, and Chera was the one with connection to them, as far as I can
I'm
see.
all in for murdering necromancers. Not the kind you are. The kind who brings back Skelly boys.
I'm not a necromancer.
You brought back a dead person. Technically you're a necromancer now.
No, I didn't
Yes.
bring back. They are like, they were not dead
No.
enough
I mean,
yet.
but they had a soul still now. I mean, those things don't really like.
I'm sure you guys have met undead that do have souls,
Yeah.
like ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, but not
Technically you're a necromancer,
No,
but you're the good kind.
no, I'm not
not the evil
technically.
kind like that guy in the pyramid.
No,
Wear it with
Question.
wear it
Second,
proudly.
not technically at all. No, I'm not gonna. No, stop calling me a necromancer. I'm a cleric. I
Yes.
revive people in the name of my god.
Yes.
I could be a necromancer.
I mean, all I'm hearing
I
is
just-
I am just a necromancer with extra steps.
The Sphinx speaks up and goes, "You'll have some time to decide if you're not yet sure.
I mean, where do I sign up?
You don't sign up.
Consider yourself signed up.
Okay.
But if there's not more to report, we would ask you to leave us
Well,
to our
not
further
with the
strategy.
pyramid.
And we will notify you when we know how we would get yourselves into the pyramid. Because as Sarah said, there isn't just a pyramid. There is some more in between. Our city? City? Is that accurate? We'll see how we can get you past the front lines. If you have any suggestions yourselves, they are appreciated. But until then, prepare yourselves. We'll see you again tomorrow. Some door raises it again, allowing you to exit the room if you feel like it. Sarah
To the library.
and the other officers stay there.
Which one of those are the actual amount? Because I have not used my money for a very long time. So I have no idea.
Oh, you still gained like a bunch of money that I haven't added yet. So
Right?
you're somewhere in like the 1,000. You're like 1,500, 1,400 something. Your
Oh, yes.
gold at least.
Okay, so more
How
like
much does it
this.
say there?
I mean, this one says 520 gold,
Yes, that's what I have as well.
and This one says no gold, so
Okay, so this is 520, and then there's a bunch of stuff to add.
okay.
So we'll get to that at some later time.
Then I'll because I had another question. Are there like shops here?
There are.
Where we
But
can maybe buy.
We're gonna go through for the four of you. We're gonna go through downtime.
Okay.
However, we're almost halfway through the session, so unless anybody wishes to do something immediately, we'll take a break and then come back with some downtime. You basically have 1 day of downtime. Just because it's such a short period of time, we're going to exclude Bree and Cher from this. They're sleeping off their soreness. They're not able to do that much today, but we'll get back with the four of you.
Yes.
Okay. So, unless there's anything anybody wishes to do, no. Okay. You'll make your ways out of the pyramid. The stone door does not close behind you, but they continue their conversation. So, we'll be back in about 15, 20, 25-ish minutes after a short break, where we'll be picking it up with some downtime. So with that, thanks for coming out, and we will see you in a little bit. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 83 of Unravel. The party had successfully survived the encounter with the nude tabaxis that were wearing clothes. You traveled your way back to Aurelia, took a long rest, then met up with the Sphinxes to relay your report. They explained some of the situation. You guys, then promptly not being part of the larger overall battle strategy of Aurelia, left the pyramid, and as you step out from the pyramid, Herolith allows you to pass through the guards they have currently set up there, and you see people in the city like preparing for travel, like probably like tents and weapons and food and stuff are all being made ready to be brought up on the journey. But you have a day, as tomorrow morning they march.
Oh yeah. Wait.
You have a day. So, we'll go right to left or left to right for downtime?
Left to right.
Left to right, very well. George.
I think we should do the other way around.
I was just asking.
Hey, I said
I will
first.
start.
Angie.
Jesus Christ.
We'll go Angie, Zira,
George.
Bess, George.
I want to buy some potions.
Okay.
What?
Potions.
Portions.
Alright, let me quickly move some of your money around.
Oh Jesus.
From your savings account to your
Yeah.
actual paying
Savings have been frozen. And
Yeah, well, I'm very broke. In here and in real life.
Actually,
That's why
not
I
as much
propose-
because you do have money from the in Chikona Huadl. You made money.
Wait, what?
You made money in Chikona Huadl.
In Chikona Huadl.
Yes. When you guys defeated the demon snake lady
Oh!
in the jungle.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember. The feeble.
You do?
Yeah.
I wasn't there for
I
the
don't
fight.
remember much, but that I do.
So here, let me check. It's 827. So, just to give you an update on how much money you have.
Send it to us?
No. I'm going to be telling you now. Let's see. That's you specifically
Yeah.
have 36 platinum.
36.
Platinum.
Yes.
1,499 gold.
That's a lot.
827 silver.
827.
And 52 copper.
52.
That's how much money you have.
Yes.
You want to buy potions.
Yes.
First, make an investigation check, I'll say. Investigation or persuasion, but persuasion would be a higher DC to try and find them, because there's no outward shop, but the city is very magically inclined, but you would have to do some digging.
Do persuasion.
Okay, the DC is a little higher.
Fuck. That's a 16.
16. you start asking around. First, you start looking for shops. There, you are quickly diverted to the academy, where they have labs and such that where potions are brewed. There, you do find somebody who's selling potions, although they have limited supply. And because of the current circumstances, you're not the only person asking for it. So the base that they're currently selling them for is twice as much as potions would normally go for. Because they're on the brink of going to war, so everybody wants these.
What kind?
That's what you find.
Even if I go back to what's her name, Sarah?
Sarah gave you her personal stash.
But if I ask her where I can find it, if I ask her specifically where she bought her...
Okay. You go look for her, you know where she is
Yeah.
at first. You go and approach her, at which point you find them as herself, as well as many of the other armored officers, or not the arcane officer, the other fighters and such, are walking down the steps of the pyramid. You kind of like catch up with her. She's like wearing the armor and helmet to the side. She's like in mid-conversation, Mercedes, that you're not catching. But as you approach, she kind of like turns to you and goes, "Can I help you with something?"
Yes, you gave us some potions and stuff. I was
Yes.
just wondering, where did you get them, buy them, so that I can stack up on them for this fight?
I have a friend that is probably out here doing something. I don't know if they would have the time at the moment, or if they would have something left. But that's a personal connection. I'm not sure if they have anything at the moment.
Okay.
If you really need something, I can see what I have left. But
But it doesn't seem fair for you to give up your own stash.
I understand that. But if you guys are going to go into that pyramid, all luck to you.
I mean, yeah, we are.
What you would be looking for? I can see if I can arrange anything.
Well, definitely some mana potions would be helpful.
Right.
And maybe 1 or 2 healing potions.
I'll see what I can do, but I can't promise anything.
No, that's fine. If you can't help, then I'll go to the academy.
Yes, and good luck finding something there.
Yeah, exactly.
She then makes her way down the steps, and there she begins to engage with the people that are there, loading up the wagons and such that they're put to bed. She'll see what you can do, if anything.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do?
No, I'll just wait for her if she has something. Otherwise, I'll go to the academy.
Well, immediately she isn't
No.
immediately doing it, so
I'll wait
like you'll have to. She will come to you at some point, either this day or tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll wait. Until later this day. Later this day, like begin end of the
Of the afternoon.
afternoon, and then.
At that point, she would not have yet returned.
Okay, then I
Because-
go to the
Okay.
academy. Because I do want to have something,
What do you want to get?
just in case. What do they have?
This, because it's in here. If you do wait that long, they, at that point, would have...
With mana potions being the most important.
Right. This shit in here somewhere. Ah, there we go. They would have. You would still be able to buy a relative. Depending, you can't buy insane amounts, but they would still have some lesser healing potions, just like the lowest of the low.
Mm-hmm.
There would maybe be 1 or 2 regular healing potions left, and then there would be 1 supreme healing potion, the most expensive one would be left. Anything in between that would be gone. Mana potions would be the same. The first levels and second levels would be you could only maybe get 1 or 2, and then you could buy a 5th, but nothing in between there because that would all have been sold out at this point.
Okay. For what person?
Double what it says there.
double. Jesus Christ. Okay, so not the 5th level, I guess. I'll buy a 1st and a 2nd level mana potion.
Okay.
And one normal normal healing potion and 2 lesser.
First, the mana potions. What do you want to buy again?
Let me see if I can even.
A 1st and a 2nd, right?
Yes, so that's 200 plus 100. And then 100 for the healing potion. 40 and 40. Yeah, so that's 2 lesser healing, 1 normal healing,
Yep, for the mana potions.
1 lesser and 1 regular.
So, how much money is that?
That's 200 and there's 300 euros for
300
Euros.
gold.
gold.
Euros.
300 gold for the
Yes.
mana potion, so you're one 1st level and one
Yes.
2nd level.
And 180 gold for the healing potions.
What did you want to get there again?
That's 2 lesser and 1 normal.
And the lesser are 1d4 and the normals are 2, right? Should say.
Yes.
So 2 lesser and 1 normal. How much did that cost you again?
480 gold.
Okay, so 300 for the mana potions and 480 for the healing potions.
Yes.
There you go. Is there anything else you wish to do with your day? Because you are waiting for some time.
I mean, they don't have any interesting gear, I guess.
No, there's no like magic shops or anything
Yeah,
around.
so not really.
Okay.
There's nothing I can finish within one day.
In that case, we'll jump to Zero. What do you want to do with your downtime?
I want to do one very specific thing, and that's just research for a potion I'm gonna make.
Research for a potion you want to make. Have we already started that process?
No.
Okay. What potion do you want to work on?
The gender swapped potion.
Right. I need to find somewhere. We'll work on that. Note that you have already done a day. I'll do the same. I can't give you right now how many days you'll have to work on that yet.
Yeah, because I first need to know what the special item for that potion is.
Well, first you would have to research it, and I have to determine how many days it would take to research.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know you wanted to make this yet. Now I haven't been able to prepare for it, but still works. Wait.
Well, last time we were in the city, I mentioned it, and you said, do that for downtime.
Oh yeah, but I didn't. We didn't. This downtime wasn't like super expected, so I couldn't prepare like that.
What's in?
Is there anything else you want to do? Just
Is
that?
there a shop
Just
here?
that.
Very well. There's no shop here, but there's like general magic items, the most common consumable you can. And you can always, you guys can always summon Thorbin. Actually, Thorbin is basically accessible to you. I mean, you can try summoning him here. You're not sure how that's gonna go with like the defensive barrier and stuff that's up. But you could go, you could leave the city, then summon him. I guess
Yeah.
would be accessible to you. Which one of you two wants to go first? Because they did what they wanted to do.
Well, I want to look for a gem encrusted bowl.
Bowl.
Worth at least 1,000 gold.
Worth at least 1,000 gold. Very well.
Well, preferably just 1,000 gold.
Also make an investigation check. Just to see how much time you would spend on finding one.
Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, sure.
God help me. 21.
21. Pretty easily, you head towards the academy where there's various components of magical items and spells that are prepared, even such expensive items as that. So yes, you can buy a 1,000 gold piece worth, because this is for your scrying spell, I'm assuming. Right?
Well, I would say this is not for my crying spell.
Crying
spell.
It's a very high level spell.
Before buying, George would go to the party.
Okay.
Can I? What?
You guys would,
something to cry up.
you guys would, yeah. This is basically after you guys left the pyramid for the first time. Before you guys all split up, you guys were in the apartment together.
Our funds. How are they looking? I have an idea if we're gonna go on this pyramid. But it's like, well, basically, I need just a bowl, you know, where you would eat your soup from, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be 1,000 gold.
Why? Yeah, we don't have that much as the entire party funds.
Hear me out on this one. I'm not sure exactly what we're getting into, but it looks very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I can prepare a feast, which could aid us in where we're going.
You need a.
It's gonna cost 1,000 gold to prepare this feast.
What would be the benefits of?
Well, the benefits would be a creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits.
That's it.
The creature is cured of all diseases, including your chlamydia, and poison. Becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. These benefits last for 24 hours.
Okay.
So it's basically that.
And is it like
this? Sounds big spinning
Turns off the ad.
Yeah.
So it's that.
What is chlamydia?
Yeah, you'll hopefully never have to figure it out.
Okay. Is it like a one-time thing?
Yep, it consumes the bowl.
Oh,
It lasts for 24 hours.
that's expensive.
And it takes my 6th level spell slot.
Oof.
Whichever that is, whatever that is.
But also considering we still need to travel there.
Yeah, but then he would make
Yeah.
it there.
So, yeah. This means if you do it the night before we do it, then we have the entire next day basically to do it, and then you still have your 6th level spell slot.
But we wouldn't have the entire day, we would have like 16 hours.
Yeah, but you know, as if we're not gonna beat the guy within 16 hours.
But we're not gonna sleep before that, right?
We are going.
It's the travel there, and then they set up camp there, and then they attack, and then we have to kill the guy.
It's an option, I'm saying, like, we could do it. Not being afraid seems pretty cool.
I mean,
It's true.
how much do we have in the pot?
Well, gold-wise, we have 395 gold pieces.
Should be a little less than that.
Less?
That's what
Yes.
it says here.
I need to add. You have. Let's see. It's not a whole lot in the party, so I can quickly add it. What do I have here? I've actually been paid something from the party fund since then, but you've gained in other areas. Let's see, minus 18.
I mean, I guess I can give you some of my personal.
Party funds currently consist of 38 platinum pieces, 375 gold, 596 silver,
That didn't change.
and 1,280 copper.
That also didn't change down.
And how much is that in total?
The total in gold would be 827.4. Yes, 0.4 because it's.
Yeah, I know. I can give you some of my personal
Well, if everybody...
monies.
We could split it between the entire group and then it would not be as bad. But that's if everybody considers this a worthy investment.
I don't know about Bree and Itzel because
Sleeping
sleep.
off their soul.
They're
But-
sore still. I feel like...
I don't know what they did last night, but
I just feel like... it's just down to the 4 of us now to make that decision for them.
oh god.
Besides, Chad, I wanted to go there, so...
How much was the ball?
1,000.
It's 1,000 and it consumes it.
Does not get dispelled.
Well, if the spell happens, it has to dispel every single person individually.
That's true.
I'll give him 167 pieces.
Wait, that's...
But you put in 167.
If everybody puts in 166...
And that's
And how
covered.
much is it if we divide it with also the party funds?
Then it would have been like 100
100.
and...
142 and a little.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, there's 143, but...
How do you guys want to pay? I'll say it's available. How do you want to pay for it?
6 or 5. Oh, 6 or 7.
I don't care. Either way.
I mean, this would be a party fun thing if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
Besides, I'm pretty sure if... It's up to 12, so some other people could also... maybe we can... If we talk some people into, like,
Maybe
they
if we
could
talk
pay
to the
with us,
Sphinxes.
they might want to have...
Let's
Sure.
first do
Let's
that.
do that!
What do you guys want to do?
We're going to the Sphinxes to
Ask
tell them
them
that
for money.
to tell them they would be split this
Maybe-
cost with
Maybe
us.
Split
she
the
can
bill.
gift us a bowl.
It's an expensive deal, but if,
It's
like,
a really-
if we split it, it's gonna hurt less. We're at 6, so that's half. Finn could also technically eat from it.
So that's if we would split it in 12.
We'll think
Bring
each of
11.
it then.
If we split it in 11, then it's like 91 gold per person, and then Finn can still.
Fucking cheapskate.
I mean, I'm saving for an apartment.
I'm just broke.
Okay, so you make your way back to the pyramid after been there like 15 minutes ago.
I by the way don't yet pay my gold to George.
No,
Sure.
we're gonna
You guys
figure
all
this out.
walk back towards where the Sphinxes are. They're still in conversation. You guys barge in. You go.
Little chef's head. I have a great deal. I have an idea.
Rolls the ad.
He rolls in the little TV. Plays the ad. Anyone else
It's
chlamydia? Yeah. Look.
So yeah, it's the officers, Sarah,
Yeah,
the Sphinxes that are there right now.
So, Heroes Feast. I'm not sure if you guys have it, but I have it. It's
Sort of.
expensive though, and it'd be a waste if I used it only on our group.
We are familiar with it. However,
Damn it.
my mate and I, we have the ability to cast that spell regardless of component. So we have no need for it, nor do our officers and those who fight with us.
But we
Could
fight
we
with
join
you.
in on this feast, perhaps?
My mate's not traveling with us, so it's just me. There's a lot of
We're
you.
kind of getting into the temple. You're like relying on us, not dying.
It is true.
I'm willing to pay a bit for it, but again, we could split the cost.
Considering you would make a persuasion check. Make a persuasion check fucking first.
Can I help?
No, it's George and his ad. That's all
Can I
that's
get
there.
advantage for the ad?
No.
It was a good ad.
Does none of them have
No.
chlamydia?
I'll give you guidance. You can add guidance.
I can have
Having
guidance.
done that before you entered and part of your presentation.
Okay.
Wait. Maybe I can make this better.
What was it again? Persuasion?
Yep.
Okay, thank God. This is not my sheet.
That's Chera with a -1.
I'm not that shit at that. Not like I'm decently. I'm 60.
16. The Sphinx goes.
Like fireworks, like.
I can see your point.
Thank you.
And it is a service you'd be doing us. But my spell, my casting of the spell has an amount of recipients that is full at the moment.
That's why it's
We
so
will,
important.
however, I think is fair, grant you up to 500 gold's worth of your material component. The other half, the 6 of you yourselves would have to add.
Well, that is something we'll do, and if there's like plenty of spots still for people to join in, we're like with 7. We include 6. We are with 6, so there's 6 more people that can join in.
5.
That's why.
We just discussed. Well, never mind.
We shall ask around. There are most likely officers and other men that could benefit from the spell. And the guy like goes over to one of the officers and kind of like nods the head, kind of like runs off. And some like 5 minutes later comes running back with like a small baggie of gold. I mean, a big bag still because there's 500 pieces in there, which is handed over to you, George. The Andor Sphinx goes. There should be some to find still at the academy, and being open to share it with others definitely makes it worth the investment. But the other 500 gold you'll have to gather yourselves.
Just a question. Are we like going there, make a camp, or are we just charging in?
We are leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
It will be a day of travel, I heard, especially with the amount of people and wagons we're traveling. There's a second day of travel, which you arrived late in the afternoon, according to Sarah. Considering we travel some slower, we expect to arrive somewhere at the beginning of the evening, hoping to set up camp a little bit of a distance away, so it may be somewhat unnoticed. But after that, we will launch an attack, hopefully before any real defensive structures have been built.
So when are you planning to do the feast?
Most likely after we set up camp the day before the assault.
Very well. Then we'll do the same.
Because we will attack at first light, hoping that our camp would not be discovered then yet.
That would be 83 gold for everyone, and then we pretty sure still have a gold to cover. That works.
I mean,
500 gold you could pay with just the party funds, if that's something you want to do.
You wanna do
Considering
that?
party funds is 827 total.
I'm fine with doing that.
Yeah, we'll do it
Nice.
with the party funds.
That's less money I have to spend on my own pocket.
How do you want to pay that, considering you're the party funds?
Yes. Well, let's see. We have. There we go.
Figure that out. I really gotta go to the bathroom afterwards. You will have some more downtime if you want it.
Yes, your thing.
so but who decides if a bowl is worth how? Because
The amount, like the
Because
material to
if
be done,
the
the
economy
gems
is
that are in
bad, you
there.
know, you can like this wooden bowl is like worth 1,000 gold.
Cool. Don't stop thinking about the economy. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant. Whatever the DM says.
It's whatever Moradin deems worthy of 1,000 gold pieces.
Jesus.
I could definitely ask Moradin if he maybe can make the feast for me. The could save us the bowl.
You could try that.
I will try that.
Then we're 500 golds. Nope. In the plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
But I have to try that at the day because
Yeah.
otherwise he'll do it now. Which is kind of a waste.
You could ask him to do it in 3 days' time.
Oh, I feel like that's very pushing my boundaries. That's like, hey, can you do it? But then like I'm putting him on hold. But you don't do that with your god.
I wouldn't know.
I mean,
Would you do that with your god?
I could ask. But it probably won't be granted, but you can always ask.
And you have 8.
I do.
And if I use 8.
Oh!
And then that we are very bulky then.
Yes, that's true.
I like that idea.
You use 8 and I use 8 and now we're double 8!
We're not 8s.
Alright. How do you wish to pay for this?
I got distracted, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, let me just get the calculator. Let me just be the accountant real quick.
Put on your account.
Yes.
You gotta
Makes you
use
look
the
so smart.
you gotta use the pencil to push on the button.
Oh, yes.
That's how that works.
That's how.
That's
Otherwise,
when-
it doesn't work.
God damn it. One is... That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I'm so...
Well, we should have had a normal calculator.
No.
That's stupid.
I wasn't prepared for being the accountant today.
Okay.
I'll just do illusionary, like so.
Why
There.
don't
No, I don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
While she figures it out, is there anything else you wish to do that day?
Well, I could ask more than something.
True.
Is there anything I could ask right now that could benefit us?
500 gold.
Well, that was what I was saying, like, a casting of, of the spell could be pretty cool.
Can we get a wish spell? So we can just wish the necromancer away?
I don't think that's how wish works.
That's exactly how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
Just wish all your problems away.
Yeah.
I wish all my problems away. Bye, Dad.
You disappear.
Bye, guys.
Guess that would work.
Your problems are gone if you don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask for. Oh, I got a great idea.
Mana
sit-
potions.
I put down the little the remains of my
Bowl.
cauldron.
Sure.
Oh,
Can you please fix my cauldron?
Go ahead and roll.
I feel like you're really testing their patience.
If this is the one that works, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
No, 81.
Okay. You open up your eyes, and
Yeah.
nothing changed. He does not seem to want to be your personal servant and fix your cauldron. So
It's a shame.
big sad.
Well, he didn't hesitate when I fucking asked whether
No.
a horse was suspicious.
Gods work in mysterious ways.
He fucking does.
Have you figured out how the money works?
Yes, I have
Okay.
figured out how the money works.
How does the money work?
We're gonna spend 1,200 copper pieces.
Okay, 1,200 copper.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12 gold.
Yes, exactly. We're gonna spend 530 silver pieces.
So that brings you to 65 gold. Okay.
Mhm. We're gonna use all our gold.
Plus 375 is how much?
So-
65 plus 375.
And we are at 440.
Yeah, 440.
And then we're gonna use 6 platinum pieces. And now we're at 500 exactly.
Yes.
nice.
With that, at the academy, in their components department, you can find a bowl of that a bowl that fits that description.
Fucking burrow.
Good luck.
There you go.
It's like whenever somebody buys a car with just pennies, it's that.
But
Thank you
worse.
very much.
There we go.
But you guys,
I was
George,
the
I would say
accountant.
you have a bowl. You don't have a cauldron. Shadow demon comes out of it.
Can't you just mend it real good?
What?
Pero.
Oh yeah, I could just mend the cauldron. I
Yes.
didn't think of that.
Why?
I can't.
Why don't you repair it yourself? Why can't you do that? Aren't you a good smith for that?
No, I could make one myself, but you know what would happen? It would cost me 1,000 gold.
But I mean, you already have all the parts. Just
Technically,
put
if you
it
make it yourself,
together.
if you make it yourself, it would cost less, but you would have to invest time into making it.
Yes, you
Why
can
would
just
it cost you 1,000 gold?
just use
I
all
don't know,
the
that's
parts.
what the game tells me.
No, just use all
The
the
universe.
parts and melt them and use them to make a new cauldron. Should work that way. Just cost you time, but it should work that way.
We'll see.
But not
Is there
now.
anything else you want to do, George?
He wants to melt his cauldron.
Yeah, melt down the cauldron.
You want to
Into
work?
an
You want to work
ingot.
on the cauldron?
Yes.
Sure. Well,
If that works.
I'll write down that you work half a day on working on your cauldron. It will take more than half a day to fix it.
No,
But you
just
can
like
you can start the process where it will be cheaper than buying a whole new one.
I mean,
I'm
I
such a genius.
I
thank
always
me.
have 5 pieces of coral, 3
Thank you.
pearls,
Thank you.
1 gem, and 1 sapphire. If you know,
You want me to do with that?
I have no idea if you need money or whatever.
Oh, so.
I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to do? Okay. Bess. What do you want to do?
I want to ask George something.
Okay, so you go over to George. George
After
is
he's done all his shenanigans.
he's at one of the local forges that has been that allows him to work there in the current dire need. There would have to be a small lie saying that yes, you need it right now because it's important for what's going to happen. Because otherwise they're using it for like armor and weapons and
But
stuff.
it's very important.
George, no, a small line. It has to do it. Yes.
So you find George at the forge in the afternoon.
That one spell. Have we used original plane? What do you need for that?
Hold on. Say that again. But
Visible.
now I'm
confusion.
completely listening. Shut me up! No, I'm all ears. You mean this one?
Best can't read.
Pulls up the deck.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, a
Or do you
prepared
mean
sound.
the one that's for? Or do you mean the good and evil one?
No, that one.
What do you mean you need for this?
You need something for it.
Well, nothing that I don't have. A holy symbol for me.
I'm pretty sure you need something that's like deterring for.
Gold cost things.
No, like the damage spell needs something that's like appalling to the target, which in the case of a cleric always
indicates-
counts for your.
An item distasteful to the targets.
I
Yeah.
use my holy symbol for this.
Well, I got one of those.
Yes. Here's the thing, though. You really gotta put your all into that holy symbol for it to work.
I mean,
You need to have faith.
or it kind of depends on me. The holy symbol has faith in me. Does that work?
I've been back 1 second.
I don't know that's how that works. What exactly? Let me.
He grabs a bag of spell scrolls.
With this help?
I mean, I don't know. I was
What
thinking
is it?
because I have the ring, right?
Yes.
Spell ring. I'm like, I think I can cast that spell now. I'm positive I can cast the spell.
I'll
So-
get you casted spell now.
I don't know, like we got more powerful. I just decided that even with the new, out with the old.
Okay. Well then it
And
should
it seemed
work.
really cool when you've been doing it.
I think it should work then. I mean, it barely ever works for me. but I imagine it'd be really cool if it did.
This is horse.
It worked on the purple worm, to be fair.
Yeah,
Would this be useful? Why don't you say healing spells? You're more knowledgeable about the spells and the necromancy than I am.
Does this use a spell slot?
I mean now, but I'll have that back tomorrow. Or we could take an hour rest. I just feel and then
I mean, it
There.
could definitely work.
Yeah, yeah, for the record, the scroll doesn't use a spell slot. The scroll can also not be cast into your ring.
no, but I'm thinking about casting it now myself into the ring.
I don't know if that was clear.
So, and then I needed to know if I had to get something for it because I don't have the spell card and I can't look it up because I don't have my phone.
Well, no, you don't need any gold cost components if that's what you mean. You just need to point it at the thing and have faith in your deterrent.
Okay.
It doesn't always work, but when it does work, it's pretty cool. And I think we might be dealing with demons again. So yeah.
Just starts casting it into the ring.
Okay,
In front of George.
sure.
That's not weird.
I mean, you know how the ring works. It's not
I
necessary.
banished the ring.
The ring came from another plane of existence. It's fucking gone. So you casted how many times into it? Like how
I mean,
many?
it's a 4th. I can only cast at 5th level.
Yes, so
Ring
you,
of spell storing that can only move 5th level spell.
up to 5 levels worth.
Yeah.
So yeah, one casting of your 5th level banishment. Okay,
So
so
first level casting of something in there?
not if there's a 5th level banishment in there.
I don't know if upcasting changes anything.
No, you can't upcast banishment.
I don't know.
No,
You can use
I
a
thought
5th
it-
level spell slot for it.
I thought it allowed you to target an extra creature.
That'd be really cool, but I'm not sure if that's the case. No, it does not seem like you can upcast this shit.
D&D Beyond says you can. But the spell scroll you can't upcast. That's why I didn't put it on there. But yes, you can upcast and you can target 2 creatures.
Do that.
It does. It does say
That's better than whatever I tried to
you can target one additional creature for each slot level above 4th. So she can banish 3 creatures even.
No, 2.
No,
Because the ring can only hold up to 5 levels worth.
Oh, yeah.
Then I also only have 5th level spell slots.
6 levels stuff.
That's 2.
And then Best is going to go to the library to get some stack of paper and some ink.
Sure, that's available to you freely. Anything you want to do with that ink and quill?
I'm going to have it for now.
Sure.
That's what I'm going to do.
Write down 10 sheets of parchment, a bottle of ink, and a pen.
Ready, goodbye, Lynn.
Yes. Is there anything else you wish to do, Bess?
I'll look for a potion of
Enhancement?
the one that gives you temporary points.
Endurance.
Endurance.
You can. What kind of... Can I see the thing real quick? Potions of endurance are possible. However, similar to the other potion, they would cost double. Yeah, so which one would you want to have?
Rare ones, if they exist.
Let's see, rare would be level superior, which costs 150 gold normally, so 300 now.
Yeah.
It would give you 2d8 plus 8 temporary hit points.
Mhm.
That's the one you want?
Yeah.
Okay, so that costs you 300 gold.
It's okay. What was it again? It wasn't that
So
hard.
300 best.
To do for 2. I think 2 to 3 weeks.
That's
That was one.
300. Okay. Then you get. Let me find it real quick. Because I don't have a lot. It's.
I can also use my own D8.
There you go.
Thanks.
No, because now you have a potion. I have enough d8s that I don't need them all.
No, but I can do my own D8.
Oh yeah, you can put your own in.
Yeah.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
There you go, potion of endurance.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody else? Anything else? Anything you came up with like, oh, I want to do that before we move on?
It's on my to-do list.
Oh,
Getting you
yes.
a bird.
And glasses.
And glasses, because
Done.
you are blind.
Nothing for Angie. Do you want to do anything?
No, I didn't want to buy anything. Anyways, because I'm saving my money.
Very well. George?
One thing I'm gonna do is with
Okay.
this potion.
For spells.
That evening, you all gather yourselves in your apartment, ready for your last night's rest in Aurelia, before heading out the following morning. There is, at one point, a knock on your front door.
Nobody's home.
Hello.
Angie goes to open?
Yeah.
Okay. You open up the door, and there in the bare minimum, mainly the chest plate and shoulders and arms, is Sarah in partially her armor. I wanted to ask you a few questions about what happened on you guys' way back.
Yes.
You don't mind, or
No.
okay? Sarah comes walking
Yes, I
in.
mind very much in a positive way.
Sarah comes walking in, sees all of you, doesn't see Bree and Chara, and it's like, still sick?
Yes. So sore.
Hopefully they'll be ready for tomorrow, because, I mean, some of you agreed to go to the pyramid, but not yet
If
all.
one goes, we all go.
Consensus amongst all of you?
Basically.
It is now.
I mean, if I go, they certainly go, because I'm never allowed to do fun stuff alone.
Yes.
The Sphinxes may not yet be interested in whatever enemy may come after this, but you mentioned you were attacked by someone who was sent by someone. I am not familiar, so I'd wish to know, if you don't mind, anything you know.
Well, I don't know much either. All I know is that they're mentioned here, on this piece of paper that I stole.
Well, mainly, let's start out with who attacked you.
Oh, well, it were 4 tabaxi lightning rogues, and they were
Naked cats.
like no fur.
They have clothing on.
Right.
But I stole of the dead one, I stole all his belongings, and now I have this.
Yeah, that one is really bad.
So one of them died.
Yes.
Only one.
What happened to the others?
They ran away.
That's They split up and they went all different directions.
And they were so fast.
And this summer storm, you are not familiar.
We
Two
are
of you are
not, but
kobolds and
Sarah read about it.
Well, yeah, it's mentioned it. Like my dragon wrote it in Draconic, so it's a different language, and it just says the summer storm. And I'm like, oh, what could that be?
Why is it written there?
Oh, well, where does this sentence start? The whole thing is talking about probably this city. Like, see, there's a Sphinx with enemies. That's this. But also, they're like, oh, rumors passed of the North Continent, blah 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 blah. And then the last sentence is the others proposed the idea that Prime Minister had successfully used the now banned extremes of the arcane spectrum to transport all of our existing followers to a single location. And then it says the summer storm, and then it continues with whatever the case, it began the downfall of the uprising, either by performing some feat of arcane prowess or simply due to the significantly reduced population of worshippers.
I'm not intimately familiar with Mercedes history, considering that it speaks of all Mercedes coming to one place. Let's tell its telling should be accurate. The mentioning of that individual, it's a dragon then.
No, my dragon, who owns this book where I stole this page from, wrote it in there himself. I should really steal the rest of the book. Now I'm thinking about it.
But we don't know what the summer storm is.
No, it just says the summer storm in Draconic above this picture.
But your dragon put enemies next to the sphinxes.
With the question mark, because he was like, enemies? Could there be enemies there?
That's what I wanted to know. How much you knew, what exactly happened. Concerning. And once we have dealt with this threat, we looked in on. But if you made them run away, perhaps you're more formidable than they thought.
Well, I also have the sending stone that the guy left behind, so now I'm gonna message them each day and tell them they're the doo-doo heads.
Right. Yes, I'm not sure sending stones will work anymore. You can certainly try it, I guess. That's good to know. There's some communication between you and them. If you ever hear something through that, let us know. If you do not mind. Aside from that, you are all prepared, somewhat, to leave tomorrow?
I was born ready.
Somewhat is a great way of describing it.
Not sure what will
Actually, I
lie
want
beyond
to
the
go.
entrance of the pyramid for you, but will probably not be pleasant. Do you feel confident, at least, that you'll be able to handle this?
Look,
I mean,
You seemed confident the first time you mentioned going to the Citadel.
I feel like I wasn't there. Right now, I'm going to be very honest with you. There's a reason I'm over preparing for this. Over preparing does not radiate confidence.
That's true, hence the reason I was asking. Well, regardless, we put our faith in your hands, apparently.
that's
That's
one way
what.
to do it.
The Sphinxes see something in you all. I have seen you guys be capable, however, the task they're asking you to do is great. To see. Hopefully,
Thanks for the boost of confidence.
Well, that just means afterwards we're even bigger heroes. They will sing my name up down the streets every day on my birthday.
Okay, I don't think it's worth that way, but okay.
possibly. If you do this, I'm sure that everybody who cooperated in this will be grateful to the success.
Once more than before.
Have you thought about yet how you were going to go past the front lines and enter the pyramid?
I mean,
We're terrible at that.
Food for thought.
we have Bree who can cast that one spell that gives very
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to count on that one probably.
probably.
And Angie. I looked around and asked around. I was not able to find much but this.
Ooh, that is great. How
Single
much do I owe you?
If you succeed, nothing.
If we fail, also nothing. That's
Because
great.
then I will be dead. If you find my body, then you can take all my money and
Then I will.
Okay. Not sure if there's anything left, but you can, yeah.
That's alright. I'd rather have you go in there, at least believing in yourselves a little bit. Whatever bits help that I can grant, I will.
Well, I'm just trying to convince myself we're doing this for the greater good.
You are! And it's a good thought to have. Otherwise, pessimistic thoughts may take your mind. She gets up, goes, I wish you all a good rest.
Yes,
Start
same to
thinking
you.
about how you are going to handle this. We'll see each other again when we make camp near the Citadel, probably.
I mean, we were better improvising than really planning, so.
It's hard to plan when you have no real idea
idea.
what you're getting into.
That is true. but somehow you're going to have to get past the walls, over the city, and up the stairs.
That's
Yeah, well,
fine.
We can't fly.
George cannot fly. For 10 minutes.
Looks like you can.
I didn't wear my helmet.
Think about it. I'll see you again in 2 days. And
We're definitely gonna fly over the walls.
go get him, team. Before she then turns around to leave,
That's awkward.
instilling you with whatever confidence she can.
Just
Do we get a bonus from that?
No.
She just called us
God
team.
damn it. Yes. Yes.
And George will have fly for the next 10 minutes.
As long as I concentrating on it.
Open the window, she flies around.
Whoa. But you guys can take a long rest, regain whatever you want.
With fly, you have control, right?
Yes, you do. Levitate, you don't.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes later, she.
If I want to fly, I just cast levitate on myself and hold on to
One
my
more
dragon.
second.
Yeah.
You guys all take a long rest. You can replenish anything you may have lost if you didn't lose anything during that day.
I lost money. I did.
That you can't replenish that. instead.
I'll steal it back.
The following day, you walk
That
out
was
of your
what we
apartment
talked
and you see everywhere
If I was
families
outside,
saying goodbye to their young soldiers, fathers saying goodbye to their children, husbands to their wives, sometimes the other way around.
I would was it?
Sometimes the children say goodbye to their parents.
Sometimes the children say goodbye to their
That's
parents.
dark.
No, but it's true.
That's very true.
As you kind of see everybody get ready, you
Maybe
see
it's an adult shot.
you see there's a relatively good mix of like mages and warriors, although within the group that you're traveling, the city is relatively big. It may have like a few thousand individuals living in it. Although most of those are trained in any arcane way. So the group you end up traveling with is about 3,000-4,000 strong. Although of them, the vast majority seem to be spellcasters, less heavily armed, less armored individuals. Whereas the spellcasters, they are wearing their robes with like somewhat ceremonial and uniform pauldrons and chest pieces, but that don't actually provide any functional benefit. And they range wildly in race, in age. You see young Mercedians, you see old gnomes, you see dwarves, you see humans, you see full-grown Mercedians. It's a wild mixed pool of people. You're traveling with a caravan of carts and such that can be pulled along. They have axles for wheels, but are currently on what seems to be sleds because they're going to have to be pulled over the desert. But that's how the travel begins, and you are just a small group in a much larger system.
With all the goodbyes, George does like, alright, I shouldn't forget. That's the most important thing. And he does like the little chain. He takes the key to switch out a spell
Sure.
for sending.
Okay.
And he goes, hello, Mom.
That's adorable.
If I don't send a message in about 4 days,
I'm dead.
Just know I love you.
oh, I fucking care.
One character sheet.
Do I even have the character sheet? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. Ozen can have my room.
That's it?
So you say,
Love ya.
hey mom, if you don't hear from me in
Okay.
4 days,
And,
Ocean can have my
How many
room.
words do I have to end?
You have 6 left.
Your son, George Wayland Jr.
Of
I can't fit that in.
Soulforge.
sulfur.
You wait a moment, You get a response relatively quickly. Actually, are you in Aurelia when you cast the spell? Or do you wait until you're out of Aurelia?
I'll wait till I'm out.
Okay. Then the spell goes through.
Because otherwise it wouldn't work.
Yes. You get a message back that goes... Okay. Just... be careful with whatever you're doing. I've heard great things. So... love you.
Oh. Oh.
And that's the end of the
Your
message.
mom loves you, you
She
nerd.
heard about me.
She heard about me.
My name travels.
What did she hear about you?
Great things.
So cute, your mom loves you.
I never told you that part of the message.
You nerd. You said it out loud.
Don't think I did. I only said the part out that fills my ego.
You
Yes,
immediately
that's true.
started crying when your mom said that she loved you. You're a nerd.
What's a nerd thing?
Only nerds get loved by their moms, right?
No.
But your mom loves you and you're a nerd, so that's how it works, right?
How am I a nerd?
Have you heard yourself talking about smithing?
Are you calling me a nerd?
I most definitely am.
A nerd.
Yeah, that's why I know you're a nerd.
No. I'm passionate about my craft.
Like nerds are.
Nerd activities do not give you these guns!
How is the morale of the people?
You're a nerd.
I think it's manly.
I wouldn't say the morale's
Fair enough.
necessarily super high. They are confident,
How many
and
girls have you
as many of them
kissed
believe
then?
themselves to be quite capable. I wouldn't say morale is like through the roof because it's also been like relatively sudden.
Can I like hype the
How
morale
many
with
girls
an
have you
inspirational
kissed?
quote?
If you have a good or inspirational quote,
I mean, I have the don't focus on the pain, focus on the progress.
is
Yes.
that the only one you have?
Yes, for now.
Make a
That's
persuasion
gonna
check.
be a catchphrase.
Because nerds have never kissed
Persuasion,
girls.
right?
Yeah.
Where have you gotten this information?
Woo! That's a 24.
The morale in your group and around you, some people, goes up a little bit. Sure.
From this book that says when to know you're popular.
Okay. On that day of travel, is there anything anybody wishes to do, like, for example, the sending of message or anything like that?
I'm just gonna write a letter to my best friend.
I have a good quote for the next day.
Okay. Anything from everybody else?
George just sort of goes, like, he, like walks next to Angie. So I was... Does making you not having kissed a person a nerd?
Can you elaborate?
I've been reading this book. It's like really bad on my confidence. It's like
Wait, you read? Sorry, I've never seen you read a book.
You read that dirty book once.
Oh! Oh, yeah?
I can read.
No,
I'm from a monastery. I like.
not that you can't read. I just didn't know you did it. But go on.
Oh, just because dwarves read
No,
from runes,
don't make
we
this a
can't
race
read?
thing.
It sounds like you're. My point is,
Yes.
what if, you know? If you never kissed a person, does that make you a nerd?
How old are you?
I'm only like 38.
Maybe not nerd per se, but you are kind of obsessed with things.
I'm
But
only-
definitely a loser. Haven't you kissed the person ever? Besides your mother?
No.
Then definitely no.
Why would I do that?
You've never. Have you never met a person that you were like?
No.
Oh. That's just sad. Never in your whole life. Not even once.
Look, I understand this sounds weird. I'm 38, okay? I'm young. Like, you have to understand, like, I live 3 times longer than you do.
Yes, but you're not a child.
Technically, I am still a child. I know this is really weird for you.
I mean,
Like, if I get 40, that's like my 18. That's where like I get adultish.
And you're
That's my young adult face, yeah.
and you keep hammering on me being 4 years old while you're a child yourself.
I am a young adult.
I'm also a young adult, according to Kobold
this doesn't-
standards.
you are kind of a nerd, but the kissing doesn't. If you would kiss someone, that wouldn't take that away, I guess. I mean, I remember the period that you pissed yourself every time we were in combat, so. You know, you've improved. Definitely. But no, the kissing part doesn't necessarily make you a nerd, I think. I don't know. I've never been a nerd.
Have you ever kissed someone?
I have.
You sound like someone who might. Oh wait, wait. Killing thing? I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It was.
It was just a question.
No. It's a valid question, but don't you want to be a nerd, or do you just want to kiss someone? What? How did this
No, I just
became a topic of? You know,
because I read the book.
and it did something with you.
No.
Then I think we need to have another talk.
No, I know how that works. I'm just. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I can give you the
No.
run. Oh.
I don't want to know how that works, okay? I don't think it would help me with smithing.
You see, and that's what makes you a nerd. You're a smithing nerd.
Smithing is way cooler. His soul.
I think you think it's very cool, and I'm glad you think it's very. It should be very cool for you, but you know, my interest lies elsewhere, and you're kind of obsessed with it. So and you're really good at it, and you know a lot of it, so that kind of makes you a nerd. Sorry, but
I will remember this.
I don't know what I said wrong.
Is there any divine intervention you want to do today, perhaps?
Morden.
Am
Can you
I,
send me someone to
am I a
kiss?
nerd?
Send me some bitches.
That is a question Morden would probably answer.
Give me some bitches. What's the proper firm-related way you want to say this? What are the words you hope Morden hears?
Can you fulfill my biggest wish of getting some bitches?
I'm forging you into my champion. What the fuck is this?
Okay.
To be your champion, I need some bitches.
I need some bitches.
Bert,
Morden,
go fly.
please, I beg of you, prove Angie she is wrong. 50!
Close.
So close! So close!
Oh!
Sadly, at least as far as you know, Morden has not heard your plea.
Oh, I thought sadly he agrees with Angie.
Anyways,
I mean, you just thought prove Angie wrong as in convince her smithing is really cool. Because that's when you're wrong. He's right.
Perhaps a faint echo somewhere may have been heard, but a direct answer you do not receive. Anything else anybody wishes to do for the day?
Morden knows it can be done.
I want to ask the others of the group if not kissing someone makes you a nerd, because I really want to know what.
I mean, you know Zira's answer.
it does according to my book that George stole.
I didn't steal it.
You did.
You can have it back. It's a stupid book anyway.
Thank you.
I?
According to
Wait,
the
you shouldn't read this. It's bad influence on you.
according
I will
to the
keep
book,
it.
I'm so cool.
I read the book.
It's 2 pages. It's 2...
Oh my
It's
god,
2
that's a
pages.
book I made up. Do you want information from me?
Yes.
Okay, according to the book How to Know When You Are Popular, it says that if your mom tells you loves you while your friends are at, you're a nerd. You're a nerd if you've never kissed a girl. You're very cool if you kissed a girl. You're also very cool if you like frogs. I don't know. It's written in pencil near it, so someone added that. You're cool. Someone, it's not in Zira's handwriting. Zira isn't that thrilled about frogs. I personally, Cherry, am thrilled about frogs. It's my handwriting in the book.
Okay.
You're cool if you have lots of money.
So the first day goes by. The entirety of the party of the caravan eventually they do set up camp for the day. You will have to as well. Like you do notice that whilst you're walking, there are like people with the fly spell cast on them, like flying over in the distance. Like they seem to like keeping out an eye. The Sphinx itself sometimes also like flies from the back to the front, around and about. It's a relatively active and very high magic group you're traveling with. But camp is set up. You can all take a long rest in relative comfort as long as the camp isn't being attacked. As long as the camp isn't being attacked, you also wouldn't necessarily need to keep watch. There are people that are keeping watch already.
I will take one watch though, because I'm gonna use it to clean up my dragon.
Sure. I mean, you only have to sleep for like 6 hours of the long rest. The other 2 hours can be spent doing other things, such as that. Is there anything else somebody else wishes to do in the evening? No?
I will
Angie?
also try to steal my book back.
I'll give you the
From
book back.
George. Well, you probably steal the moment Angie gives it back to me and I start to read it. So once you go to bed, I'm gonna steal it back.
It's written by Andrew T.
Can she take the book back?
Sure.
Okay, you can do regain the book.
Hustler singing person.
But if nobody else wishes to do anything, you can fill in another long rest, which at this point wouldn't be relatively unnecessary, but it's a day of travel with a big group that makes you relatively invulnerable to anything. The second day of travel commences.
Okay.
This day, you're going to be passing through the mesa where you killed the Tabaxi and the Thrycreen are dead. You'll be also traveling through that relatively same area. As well, after that, you will enter back into the ravine. So, that day of travel, which is actually an important one, so I need somebody to roll for the weather. Just in case there are some negative effects.
What do I have to roll?
If you're rolling for the weather,
Sure.
you need to roll a d6, I'm pretty sure.
That's a 1.
1. Yeah, it's just a sunny day with no effect and it's
Nice.
feeling warm. So no negative effects there.
I do have an inspirational quote.
Sure, go for it.
And I go, the fire burning within you is as great as 1,000 suns. So let them cower before our fury.
Okay, go ahead and roll with disadvantage because there was a lot of stuttering there.
No. It's 22.
Strangely enough, the inspirational quote and the people around you seem to have some effect.
Yeah.
However, the party I'm not yet so sure about.
It started off so strong, but then
Oh, yeah.
why suns?
1,000?
1,000 suns.
You got me in the first half, but I got a little lost in the second.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
Exactly.
I'll work on it.
The second day of travel, you go a few hours through the dunes before there's a small pause where all the caravans, the sleds are being switched out for wheels. Before the caravan then begins to continue. They run into some problems when they get to the very thin parts of these, basically where the fight was. That's on the battle map in front of us. There's areas where the caravans wouldn't necessarily fit through, but there are arcane casters that then come up and actually widen the walls. Be that through either blasting them apart or physically managing to alter the layout of the stone to allow for a caravan to pass through. As far as you're aware, you're still relatively undetected. Eventually, the caravan itself, in the late afternoon, gets from the thin ravines to the wider ravines, and close to sunset, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where the citadel is. Camp is raised for the last time. So the last night that you are at the at camp, and it's in a relatively safe space, there is a soldier that approaches your group of tents and goes, "The Sphinx has requested your presence at the War Council. You do not mind? Follow me." He
I'll
turns
first
around.
take a pee real quick.
All right.
You can be on the
Then
way.
wait.
No, you can go ahead. I'll follow.
Don't know where it is. We'll wait.
She has a little flying dragon. I mean, I think that.
If you're confident. He begins to continue to walk with just the remainder of the party.
Water was bad influence on her anyway.
You...
I hide this in your tent.
Okay.
And I follow.
Sure. Zero a little later, but you all come into one of the largest tents of the camp. And there you see the same officers, you see lieutenants, you see Sarah, you see the Sphinx. And even besides, you see basically the group that was in the pyramid before in Aurelia, but there's more, even also lower ranking members there now to observe. There has been a drawn layout of what the city most likely looks like, at least from its southeastern side. And Sarah has marked on the map where the most vulnerable parts of the wall are. And the Sphinx speaks. As all of you are entering, they are in mid-conversation, goes, "Once we engage them, try to push them past the walls. If we can take occupancy of the walls, we may be able to hold them off for longer than if we're out in the open." Which point he recognizes that all of you entered the tent. He goes, "Ah, the big five. Good to see that most of you are here."
All 5 of us.
Yeah. You you are allowed to like approach closer to the table, and there's like there's like numbered things on the map itself.
One very important question before we start this. What were the caravans pulled by?
They were pulled by camels mainly. The Sphinx continues to speak and goes, "We plan on lowering the cliffside that Sarah mentioned, so that in one fell swoop we can level ourselves with the enemy. And if we have to retreat, we can go to the high ground. Until then, we must hope that our presence will take them by surprise. We have not yet encountered any patrols, and according to Sarah, those only exist closer to the city itself, aside from one you encountered before. We did not encounter any on our way here, so we are confident we have not yet been spotted."
Speaking of that, I have one question. Have you checked the camels? Wasn't that obvious?
No, George.
It is not.
It's obvious for no one except you.
Could you explain?
They could be spies.
He thinks the camels are like people who changed into the camels.
They could be, okay?
It could, but George, it wouldn't be logical.
What raises this suspicion of yours? That's like murmuring amongst the crowd of people that are in here now, all the officers and sub-officers that are making conversation.
Well, some can change themselves form, and then they can appear as camels. Would it be the best disguise?
Make a persuasion check.
Does none of them have true sight?
Maybe. But they would have to send
A
some
persuasion check?
Yeah, persuasion check.
18.
Oh God.
He goes, "These dead men are raised Mercedians. It isn't completely out of the question they know some magics. Perhaps it could be of interest to at least check this out."
Thank you.
Kind of like turns to one of the arcane officers. "Take some of your men,
Don't be proud of this.
cast a detect magic spell, and walk past all of the mounts just in case."
Just glad somebody
Like,
recognizes.
That officer takes off, like goes outside, and is like a little confused himself. But they're gonna go check now if any of the camels are people in disguise.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. It could have been an oversight.
Oh.
Can never be too sure.
You said the same thing about my horse, and your god gave you your sight. It was nothing.
I was like murmuring amongst the crowd of officers that are really confused about this group.
The fact that God answers my call means
Alone is proof.
it's proof that it needs to be done.
No, it's proof that your god
Continue.
doesn't exist.
Tomorrow,
What did you say?
What did you say?
the Sphinx continues. "As I said, tomorrow the cliff will be lowered, allowing us access to the walls. We will try and take them, but if we are unsuccessful, the fighting may continue for a few hours outside of it. If it does, we are not confident enough that we could fight them until sunset. Which gives you, from the start of the attack, approximately 8 hours, at which point we will be forced to retreat. If your group manages to make their way into the pyramid, but not slay the necromancer before that time, you will be left on your own. Would you have a way out, you think?"
Oh hell no. Death?
That. I might have one way out.
All of us? Because you had that helpful thing, but you threw that away.
It's.
It'll just take a minute, but Brie can get us out.
Get you way out.
I think we have minutes.
No.
No.
Reading something? What's up?
So I have Word of Recall,
Mm-hmm.
which can send me to a temple.
Don't you have to like specify a temple before? Pretty sure you have to do something before being
at the
in.
location first.
Yeah. Don't think you've done that since you got in. So that would not be way.
That would definitely not work.
So it continues going. The plan is that after recharging tomorrow, first we pepper their walls with large blasting spells such as fireball or lightning bolts. Anything more powerful we have to maybe cause some structural damage as well. After that it will be us trying to hold out. As I said, we cannot beat them in the open field, and we don't have enough men for a siege. So we will rely on you defeating the Necromancer. Now, if I am to believe that this individual is buried in proper Mercedian customs of this region, it will be of essence that after you defeat him, you bring his heart to me. Do not destroy the heart, they may be able to return.
It's good to know.
Also, if you do manage to find anything that may indicate as to why he has risen from the dead after so many years, we'd love to know. That is at the moment still a mystery to us.
Yeah, why does anything come back to life?
Well, I am real good at finding those kinds of answers, so...
Good. Aside from that, however you wish to enter the pyramid is up to you. We can get you as far as to the walls, most likely, but after that, find a way to get past the majority of their forces that will be gathered at the walls and will form their front lines. The stairs, the pyramid. From there we cannot help you. I assume that you have a way of getting in?
We have a theory.
Figure it out. We always do. Don't worry about it.
You will have the night to discuss.
So, but it is the plan that we go in before you start, like...
Soldiers are really rallying up.
It would probably be most effective if they would happen simultaneously, as our attack would cover your entrance to it. If you do it before, you may be discovered, which would give us the edge.
Fair.
But if you are defeated and not manage to take out the Necromancer, we have the same issue.
You know, as long as you don't hit us, that...
Well, that's why I told you what our plan is, so that you can factor that into your strategy as to entering the pyramid. We put our faith in you, Big Five.
Well, the name
I
doesn't
just
change.
snuck in there, standing beside him like I didn't miss anything.
The name doesn't change, only the amount of people.
You'll be allowed here to stay in the further War Council, but if you do still have to figure out a way, perhaps discussing amongst yourselves will be the best option. For weirdly speaking here of who takes which flank, which may not necessarily be to your interests. Good luck, Big Five, and may we be victorious tomorrow. At which point, Sarah kind of like comes up to you and like gently begins to escort you out of the room, unless you wish to stay.
No.
No.
I am the battle strategist, but no, I will not stay.
So... Was to enter. Maybe like Brie can do the hush hush spell, and maybe we can fly. Is that?
Yeah, so,
Because if we have to-
sorry, Father, Sarah escorts you out, you're left back to your tent, this is where you can discuss in
Yeah.
private.
Because if we would have to like...
How
I mean-
easy is the flying thing?
Let's choose.
Yeah.
Anything we need a short rest or something, then I am good to go again. But
I can help with the short rest. I can make it shorter!
How short?
10 minutes short.
That's pretty short.
we have 2 minutes. 10 minutes.
You have 8 hours.
Technically.
Sphinx mentioned that they can hold the Vanguard for 8 hours, after which they'll have to most likely retreat, unless something would go very wrong on the
Yeah,
other
no, but
person's
it's
side.
more the fact of us getting
Yeah.
in, then taking 10 minutes to potentially rest.
10 minutes is better than an
climbing
hour
it.
at least.
I think climbing is then the best option.
Is there like a It's a pyramid. How do they work?
This pyramid you've seen, it's on a strong foundation.
Yeah, but on the inside.
That you don't know, but you know that's similar to the one in Chikuna Waddle as well as the one in. Really, it starts with a very big staircase that leads to a higher platform where there is the entrance to the pyramid. But inside the pyramid, you have no idea.
Yeah, but there's no pyramid, so there's no like back door. There's no
Not
windows.
as far as you're aware. You guys hadn't explored that far.
Usually there's no windows or back doors.
No,
in
there's
pyramids.
definitely no windows or
Yeah,
back doors.
so it's-
I mean, back doors maybe, perhaps, but you're not sure. You guys didn't investigate that
Would
far.
I know anything about pyramids?
No. Not aside from your recent experience with the three you've encountered so far.
I can. Another option we have, but that option, I doubt it might cost a bit.
Again?
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how much it would cost, but I'd have to ask. I would ask. I would basically try and contact like a celestial being to try and help us in getting in. It might ask for something, a favor, a cost.
I will promise it my firstborn child.
You'll
Oh,
probably
I'm-
don't have children. Or do you want it?
I'll leave you with this. So next week we can discuss whatever you'll be late, but with most everybody at the table. You'll have to find a way to get to the top of the pyramid, to the entrance. You will get access to the city once the vanguard of the Aurelius forces will push on the western side of it. Then you can either, with the vanguard, fight your way through their lines and get into the city and up to the pyramid that way. If you can find a way to fly over all of it, that could also be an option. You could if you have a way of only getting past the vanguard but then having to get your way through the city and up the stairs, that's an option. But you would have to find a way to get on the other side, behind enemy lines, basically. That's your biggest obstacle. How you guys want to do that? It's going to be up to you, and how you guys can either you can discuss during the week over the chat, or you guys can wait until next week and then start figuring it out. But that is where we will end tonight's session. So next week we'll pick up with you guys still in the evening, making your plan, allowing you to take your hero's feast if you want to do that, and we will start after that. So
I will say, the next morning I will cast
Mage armor? Okay. Just make sure that you mention that to whoever would be playing you for the first time.
Yeah, great.
There you go. So, with that, thank you guys for coming out to play. Thank you guys for coming out to watch, whether you did that here on YouTube while we're live or while we uploaded it
Later
afterwards.
on YouTube,
Later
when
on
it's
YouTube,
just uploaded.
It's not Twitch anymore. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.